Hey there, this is David from Konnectus, the audiovisual and technology company. I'm the director and co-founder, and in this particular short video, I'm going to use this model on screen to help explain how we work with our customers to get the best outcomes for them. So let's get straight in. You can see this model, it's a circle, and at the center, let's focus on that. That's our outcome, that's where we're trying to get to: great client and brand experience. So keep that in mind, that's our destination. So how do we get there? Well, you can see this has got 4 different quadrants. We've got client needs, technology and design, installation, and support, going around that clockwise direction. And we always start with the client needs. So in the client needs, there's those 3 words: staff, customers, and spaces. And they're in that order for a reason. In the client needs phase, if you will, of any project or engagement with a customer, we're trying to keep things non-technical, and we're trying to understand the clients, how they work, what's important to them, what are their goals, what are their objectives. So we start with the staff. Now, staff generally have current pain points and things they'd like to solve, and they'd have some better ways of working or better ways of going about their day, doing their business that they are seeking to achieve. And we just have conversations with them to try and understand what those are and write them down, and start to form in our minds how potentially audiovisual technology might be able to make their lives better. And the same can then be happening with the customer discussions. So if we have the opportunity to speak directly with their customers, that's fantastic. Otherwise, stakeholders from the business can tell us about their customers and the experience that they like to deliver for their customers. And we can also start to formulate some ideas around the AV technology that might be able to achieve those experiences for the business. And lastly, once we've got that information relatively clear about the people, we can start to talk or at least think about the spaces, the physical spaces where technology might be, to enable these experiences and new ways of working and improvements that the business are looking for their people and their customer experiences. So once we have a good handle on all of that, now we can start to move down to the next quadrant, technology. And not before. So I just want to emphasize that it's really important, because there are a lot of businesses out there who I compete with, and they jump straight into what I call solution mode. So, very quickly going into, oh, yep, you need this bit of tech and that solution, and that's exactly what you need. But, oftentimes that's not the case. You really need to understand the business and do that proper needs assessment first. So it's a critical step and can't be missed. Can be very costly. The last thing you want is to have the wrong technology that you go and invest in, because it's just not going to be fit for purpose. And it could be tens, hundreds of thousands of wasted investment. That's the last thing any business wants, and that's very important. So I can't emphasize that enough. Anyway, let's get into the technology quadrant down here. So you'll see the first little phrase there: ease of use, or easy to use, and that's critical. I've been in this business for 20 plus years, and every single time I just want the technology to be easy to use and highly reliable. We hear that time and time again, so that's always our goal. Fit for purpose is the next one, so that's where it carries into what I was talking about earlier. When we have a good handle on client needs and understand the people and have an idea on the spaces that we need to put together, well, that's when we can ensure we're coming up with technology solutions that are fit for purpose, and that link is made. Very, very important. Now, once we've got sort of those technology options, it's in this kind of phase of any project where we're looking at the options together with a customer, going through budgeting as well, and just fine-tuning what the high-level concept might look like and what those costs are going to look like. And once we've got some agreement there and a path forward, and the customer's comfortable with the technology and also the budget, that's when we can get into detailed design. And here, obviously, it's a extensive process of documenting all the designs, creating the drawings, specifying all the equipment, specifying how it needs to be installed. Quite a lengthy process, and we work very closely with the designers. There's going to be head contractors, interior designers, engineers, whether it be electrical, mechanical, all the services engineers in a building, acoustic specialists, lighting specialists. There's a whole team of people that need to come together and work together, and this is where it all happens. And what gets spat out at the end of that is a highly detailed set of documents, which can be given to AV installation companies to then install professionally, and that's where we move basically onto the next quadrant. So when we've got an installation partner on board, it's very important that we're following best practice. We need those AV solutions They've been designed on paper, which is fine, but we need them to be installed and beautifully integrated, defect-free. So that's also where we get involved quite heavily, working hand in hand with the contractor, going to site, testing the systems, doing the commissioning with them. If we find any defects, we work through those together, and just trying to follow those industry standards, and above all, make sure that what we designed is getting installed as per the design, which always comes back to what the customer had asked for in the first place or agreed to. So we're getting that, following the bouncing ball and making sure that everything is coming to where it should be. And you get to this sort of point here, which is generally the line of project completion, where you're handing over the keys to a customer. Here's your brand new set of AV solutions. They're all excited, and we'll do some training here and make sure the end users are empowered to use the systems. And that's all very, very important to get that first impression right. So we take serious care there. But that isn't where it ends. Support. There's a full quadrant here, and quite often that gets overlooked, or it just gets assumed as, oh yeah, that'll just be a quick and easy kind of sign a bit of paper and there's a support agreement in place. We don't agree with that. We sort of like to even address support as early as the client needs assessment phase. We want to understand who's supporting these systems, and what does the actual customer have in-house. What sort of resources do they have? What sort of capabilities do they have to support? How much are they reliant on an external professional company are they going to need? Do we need to go through that in that early briefing and needs assessment phase and figure that out? So what we're trying to get to, especially in these days, is a case where we can remotely monitor all the systems and have a proactive approach. So we'll always be able to see on a dashboard, on a computer, over the internet, are the AV systems online, or do any of them have issues? And if they have issues, we can quickly go and potentially fix them online without affecting users, or we could at least block rooms and systems from external users from using them until they're actually repaired by external businesses or the external partner. And I think that's key, because the user experience that we're trying to get to here for any business is the AV technology needs to work first time, every time. That's the expectation. I mean, when you have your phone or when you have your computer and you turn it on, you just expect that to work first time and every time, don't you? And it's the same with AV technology in any business now. So the support is critical. We want to be making sure that we're working towards that goal. Remote monitoring is key. Auto updates, the manufacturers are constantly improving through firmware updates and software patches, their devices, and we want to be making sure we're able to manage those and keep those updates coming through, because at the end of the day, it just improves the user experience, and maybe there are some features that are going to be beneficial to end users and customers at the business. Security is obviously a huge one. All of these AV systems now are connected to a network, and we just want to make sure that they're on the network in a secure way and being securely managed. So we pay great attention to that. So as you can see, we've sort of finished the circle here. There's the four quadrants, but they're interconnected and they continually go around and around and around. When you finish one project, you've got the support in place, and over time it'll be necessary to upgrade again, and you just follow the same procedure. And that, in my experience, in our experience at Konnectus, always leads to a great client and brand experience. So in summary, you can see the word there, balance, and balance is the key. I think a teamwork mentality, a partnership mentality is what we're all about. We help, obviously, our customers, but we're looking to put a team in place, which is usually a combination of internal resources, the customer's internal resources, and their external partners. And you can see here, there's the end customer, as I mentioned, the manufacturers of the equipment, high quality manufacturers that are able to support and be there and available to whenever they're required, and that's in a positive way or a service and maintenance way. The design is key. You have to have the right designers, professionally designing. You have to have a great installation team, professionally installing, and you have to have a great support team, professionally supporting. So hopefully that's helpful. That's a little bit about us and our approach, kind of our recipe to success in working with our customers. If you'd like to know more about that, feel free to get in touch. You can find us at konnectus.com.au, and thanks for watching.